So today we're going to be talking about some, yes. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hey girl, hey. So today I'm going to be doing makeup for beginners in 2024. So if you're interested in seeing that, go ahead and keep on watching. So I had a subscriber request this video. Well, it's actually my cousin and she watches my channel. I'm doing this for her today and for anyone else who's interested. As someone who's starting from scratch with makeup, I asked this person, what's most important to you? And she told me that most importantly, fewer steps and fewer products, as well as the makeup actually lasting throughout the day, since she does work full time. So I'm going to be showing you guys my version of that. First things first is primer. I don't think primer is necessary, although I do think skincare needs to be on point. You need to cleanse your skin, you need to exfoliate, and most importantly moisturize. And before you moisturize, if you can, apply some toner, a serum, but most importantly is moisturize, and that's basically going to serve as your primer. I took a shower, so I cleansed my skin and I moisturized, and I also did a couple of serums. So now I'm going to go in straight with foundation. Now for foundation, I would recommend any liquid foundation. You could do a cream or a powder, but liquid is the easiest to work with, and you definitely want to go for something that's more hydrating on the natural radiant side. So I wouldn't recommend you go for a matte foundation if you're a beginner. So today I'm going to be using this e.l.f. Camo Hydrating CC cream, and although this does say CC cream on it, it's a full coverage foundation in my opinion. It literally says full coverage, long lasting, dewy finish. So this is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and pump just one pump on the back of my hand. We don't want to start off with too much product, and you just apply that like so on your face. And you see how we have a little bit left? We're going to put it on the neck. And there's still some left. You really don't need to go in heavy-handed with the foundation. And then we start to tap that in with the butt of a beauty blender. So like I was saying, for foundation, I always recommend you go in with anything natural, with a natural finish, and anything from light to medium coverage. Always remember to get underneath your chin and the jawline and your neck. For a beginner, I definitely recommend getting a beauty sponge. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, but for me, this is what I started off with, and this is what I'm still using, and it's just the easiest and it gives the best finish in my opinion. And voila. Now after that, we're going to go right into concealer. For concealer, you want to use a liquid concealer. I guess you could use a cream, but liquid is a lot easier to work with. It's definitely a must if you have dark under eye circles like I do, or you can just not wear concealer, but I definitely recommend you do so. I also recommend you use a concealer that's medium to full coverage, because that's going to give you that flawless highlighted look we're looking for. And I actually have three that I really like. This one is my high-end one. This is an Hourglass concealer. This is a little bit more on the expensive side, and then we have our affordable ones that work just as good. I have the Essence Keep Me Covered concealer, and then my absolute favorite is the e.l.f. Camo concealer. This one would be my top recommendation, so this is what I would go for, but it's actually not my shade. It's a little bit too dark, so I can't use it. I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass in the shade Sepia. This you can get at Sephora, but like I said, it is a little bit more on the pricier side. In my opinion, you'll get similar results with the e.l.f. And then you just want to apply this underneath your eyes like so, and that is the only place we're going to be applying it, is underneath our eyes. And then you can let that dry for like a minute. Okay, and now you can start to blend this in, and I'm using like the top, kind of like a corner of the beauty blender, and I'm just squeezing it like that and blending in like so. So this is what I meant by that highlighted look. It kind of brightens up your skin, and I always recommend you go in with the concealer a shade lighter than your foundation, or you can get it the same shade, like a matching shade. It just depends on your preference, but I would recommend getting it a shade lighter. And another thing, you always want to tap tap tap. You never want to swipe your makeup. You always tap tap tap, and I promise you it takes longer. You're gonna want to go like that, but you don't need to. I promise you don't need to. You just have to be patient, and it really doesn't take that long. How do we look so far? Okay, moving right along, we're going to go in with powder. For Wet n Wild, I recommend this Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. This is my absolute favorite. I've literally been using this since I started doing makeup, and it's still my favorite. So that should tell you something. You can get this anywhere, and it's very affordable. And what we're going to do is just take it like this. That's what it's going to look like on the beauty blender. And then you just start tapping that in right over that concealer. Remember, always tap, tap, tap. We never swipe or tug or anything like that. You just tap, tap, tap. And you can go in with more if you need to. Gradually, you start going down into the smile lines, onto the chin. And then I'm going to take a little bit more and bring it all the way up this way. And just tap, tap, tap that on my whole entire cheek. Everywhere we put on that foundation, you want to tap, tap, tap. Notice I did go in heavier under the eyes and then a little bit lighter on the rest of the face, but you still want to cover everything with this powder. And then we're going to do the forehead as well. Don't forget about the forehead. If you notice, I'm focusing, like I'm going in a little bit heavier where we have lines. So you can go in with a little bit of extra powder on your smile lines and your frowning lines. And this right here is going to protect you from sweat, tears, whatever you might go through in your day, whatever you have going on, this will protect you from it. Okay, we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Remember, tap, tap, tap. And this is kind of going slow because I'm talking to you guys as I'm doing it, but really when you do this, if you're going to take some time to do this in the morning, this should only take you about 10 minutes. So it's really not that time consuming. And don't worry if it looks a little crazy, like under the eyes and all that. We're going to swipe that off at the end with a brush. So don't worry about it looking crazy right now. And this is an absolute must. You cannot do cream products and skip setting your face. That is not an option. You will look crazy if you do that. Now that I kind of let the powder sit on my face for about 2 minutes, now we're going to go in and start swiping it all away. You don't want to go in too heavy-handed because we don't want to swipe it off. Well, we do want to swipe off the excess. That's what we want to swipe off. And for this, any big powder brush like this will work. You don't want to use a brush that's too dense for this. This one is very, like, not dense, as you can tell. Now that we swipe that all off, we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, now we're going to go in with some powder bronzer. This for me is a must, but obviously you don't have to. You can just go like this, but you will kind of look like a ghost. So I'm going to be using my NYX Buttermelt bronzer, and this one is in the shade Butta Biscuit, and you can find this at Walmart, Target, and I think it's $10. So very affordable for a bronzer like this. And you want to go in light-handed. You want to use a brush like this, but the smaller the brush, the better. You don't want to use a dense brush for this. It has to be one with like loose bristles like this. Nothing too big, just because when you first start out, you're not very precise. But I'm going to use this one right here, and I think this is a good beginner size one. Tap a little bit, and then we're going to tap off any excess powder. Or you can just go like this on the top. Okay, or you can do that. It's just many things work, but we're gonna do like a fish face, and you can see where it naturally like dents on my face. But we're not gonna put it on there. Do not put it on there. It's like weird. You have to, it goes up, so you like line it up, and you see like that. We're gonna put it like right up there to line it up with like those dents that form right there. Not right on the dents. You want to put it like above. So watch. You see? Right there. The beautiful thing about this is you don't have to be super precise because we're not contouring. We're more so bronzing up the skin. Okay, and I'm also going to take that on my forehead and on the temples just like this. On the perimeter of the forehead only. You don't want to bring it in the middle. We want to keep that middle still bright. So you just bring it on the perimeter along your hairline. So like right up here. Okay, and you blend it in with that cheekbone. So you just blend it in all together and bring it around town like that. Yep, until it's like beautifully blended in and there's no harsh lines. This is absolutely optional. A lot of people say that you have to do this, blah, blah, blah. But I honestly never did this when I first started. I knew of it. Sometimes I would do it, sometimes I wouldn't, but it's definitely not necessary. I feel like this is more like of a contouring thing, but if you're just bronzing up your skin, you really don't have to do this. But bronzing up your underneath your jawline, like right here, just underneath it, not on top where it's visible on your face. Underneath it, under your chin, and just like that. It's really not mandatory. I promise you don't have to do it. I'm going to go in with some blush. This is the Rare Beauty Powder Blush in the shade Joy. And obviously this is on the high-end side. You can get this at Sephora, but there are plenty of drugstore affordable blushes. But this is the one that I have been loving, so this is the one I'm going to use. You can go in with a bigger brush that's not so precise for this. So I'm using this big fluffy one. And then you just take it on one side. Same thing, tap, tap, tap. Whatever you want to do to tap off that excess blush. And then we're going to smile. Just normal. Nothing fancy. Just smile. You see that? The apples of the cheeks is what we call it. You're going to apply the blush right there. You see that? You can bring that up as well, but do not cover the bronzer. We're not adding this blush that low. It's just up here. It's more so higher. Very, very pretty and natural. And you don't need to add blush anywhere else. So these are both optional. In my opinion, you can do both, or a lot of people do one or the other. The beautiful thing about makeup is there are no rules. You can do whatever you want. And now we're going to go in with highlight. One that I really like is this Wet n Wild Hello Halo highlight. And it was a duo, but one side broke. So we're just going to go in with this side right here. And same thing, tap, tap, tap. And for this, I'm using this smaller fluffy brush. And we're applying this all the way up here. Like all the way on top. Do not apply this anywhere near the bronzer, and it might be a little bit over that blush, but it's just right here. So we're just doing like a little swiping motion right there and nowhere else. That's all we're doing with the highlight. Now once you start getting your own style, you know, figuring out what you like in makeup, you can go ahead and start applying this in crazy places. Like I know I used to put it here, I used to put it here, here. Like you can get crazy with this, but since we're just beginning, we're gonna just apply it right there and nowhere else. Now moving right along, we're not going to be doing any eyeshadow in this video, but if you don't want your eyelids to look just plain, a trick you can do is take your bronzer and a brush like this, or even smaller. I have really big eyelids, so this is the one I like to use. And you can take some of your bronzer, same thing, tap, 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 and apply it right in there. And it'll make your eyes look not as plain. You see? And it's very natural and very pretty. To finish up the eyes, now we're going to curl our lashes. So you can use one like this. This is from Wet n Wild, literally a couple of dollars. I think they have lash curlers for like $1 now. So we're going to make sure all those lashes are in there, and then we start to curl. And you can go in and curl as many times as you need to. Mine aren't going to stay, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Now we're going to go in with mascara. I have this Maybelline Sky High Mascara. There are better mascaras out there, but this is just the newest one I have that's not expired. So now you can go ahead and apply your mascara. Now we're going to go in and work on the brows. Now this is absolutely optional. I'm going to go in with this brow pencil. This is by Relove. This is super affordable. I think under like $5. I typically don't do anything crazy with my brows, but you can take this and kind of fill in any sparse areas that you might see in your brow, and just go like this. Like just literally just fill in any areas that you want to look darker. Brush it out. Like I said, I'm keeping it super natural. And you want to brush them first and then look to see where you have those sparse areas and just literally fill it in. And like I said, this part is absolutely optional. You don't have to do this part if you feel like your eyebrows are fine the way they are. Now, this part I think is a little bit mandatory, especially if your brows move throughout the day, which mine do. I will literally get home and my brows will be like all down. The hairs will be down. I don't know why. It's so annoying. But this is an absolute lifesaver. This is the e.l.f. Clear Brow and Lash Mascara. Basically, any brow gel would work. I know Maybelline and NYX has some that I really like, but this is your most affordable option. This right here I think is like $3. And I know you can get a 2-pack for $5. So it's super affordable and it's so easy, and you just brush out your brows. And this stuff is like, this is strong. Like this will hold your eyebrows. Like you will not be able to move. Like your eyebrows will not move even in the wind. I promise you they will not move using this product. Also, I did my own eyebrows today. What do you guys think? Anyway, so that completes the eyes. Now we're going to move on and work on the lips. Everything is completely optional for the lips. I mean, you can literally leave it like this and just go in with some chapstick. And I think it would look very pretty like this. So if you don't feel comfortable enough using lip liner or lipstick or lip gloss or any of that stuff, you can literally leave it like this. Or you can go in with just lip gloss or just lipstick. It's really up to you. This is just personal preference. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with this NYX lip pencil. This one is in the shade Nutmeg. And this is just a dark brown. And then I'm going to go in with lip gloss. I'm using this Filter Gloss by Maybelline. So this, I feel like, is mandatory. I'm kidding. It's really not. But if you're going to invest in a lip gloss, this is the best drugstore lip gloss. It's super affordable. I think it's under $10. And in my opinion, this is one of the best lip glosses there are out there. And it smells so good. And it looks so pretty on the lips. And this is just the best. Like, literally, you can just add this and you will take your look to a whole nother level. You don't even need lip liner. Okay? And if it just feels so good. It's not sticky. It's moisturizing to your lips. It's just perfect. And it also comes with hyaluronic acid. So there you go. And I forgot to tell you guys when I was talking about the bronzer and the blush and highlight, if you don't want to buy all three of those items separately, you can also invest in a palette like this one. This one is by Physicians Formula. You can get this at Target or Walmart. You can invest in this kind of palette. It comes with 2 bronzer shades, 2 blush shades, and then 2 highlight shades. So this is perfect, and this is like $15, so you could save a couple of dollars in getting a palette like this one. Did my lighting change a little bit, or am I going crazy? I don't know. Wait, my lights are turning off. Why are my lights turning off? But anyway, this is our last step. I'm going to go in with this Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray by e.l.f. And we're going to set the makeup. We're going to spray down our whole face lightly. You don't want a super thick layer of this. You just spray, spray, spray. Okay, watch. Just a light layer. That's all you need. A very light layer. Go like this a couple of times. And then you take the butt of your beauty blender, which it's okay. It still has foundation, but that's okay. And you just start tapping that into your skin. It's very important that the setting spray gets pushed into the makeup. Okay? It's very important. And honestly, setting spray, I used to think it wasn't necessary, even though I would always still use it just because it was just a part of my routine. But I used to think it wasn't super necessary, but honestly, guys, it is necessary. Not only does this help your makeup last longer, but it also makes your skin look more like skin rather than just like powder, if that makes sense. Just trust me on that, this stuff works. Okay, you guys, so this is the final look doing makeup for beginners in 2024. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, go ahead and leave a like, a comment, and a subscription before you go, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.